Oh boy, guys. Sean Strickland shocked the world. He shocked the MMA world with an unbelievable, close hairline win over the former king, Khamzat Chimaev. Guys, it finally happened. It finally happened. The unstoppable force got stopped. And wow. Newark, New Jersey is super lucky to have witnessed such an incredible bout. I mean, against all odds, against the betting lines, against the entire narrative the UFC had built around Khamzat Chimaev, and rightfully so, and I'll get to that in a second. But Sean Strickland once again proved to the world that he's not to be taken lightly. He is now the UFC middleweight champion. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz, and the pleasure, believe me, is all mine, guys. What happened today at UFC 328 was way bigger than just a title change, because this fight might have actually exposed something more about Khamzat Chimaev that I think the entire MMA world has kind of been avoiding for many years now. Now, that's not to undermine or take away from his abilities. He is still one of the greatest and best fighters in the sport today. But we're going to talk about the fight itself. We're going to talk about the pressures, the business side of things, the implications, and why Sean Strickland may have just completely changed the future or the direction of the UFC, guys, or shall I say the UFC's middleweight division. Before I get into it, guys, if you guys like these shirts, these Duality 7X shirts, you can find them in the store. They're priced reasonably well, really nice. You get, yeah. Anyways, the quality, the logos, everything. You guys will love it. But let's talk UFC 328, guys, because it almost seems like the coronation is to be celebrated. But I mean, we're still kind of, just waking up from what happened because the number 1-3, or well, a lot of people were saying that pound for pound, probably one of the greatest in the world, Khamzat Chimaev, should have been crowned the champion. He was one of the most feared grapplers in the UFC in combat sports for many, many years. And honestly, the UFC clearly viewed him as one of the company's future global superstars. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not. Um, but you could feel it, like from his presence, his aura, like the marketing, the presentation, everything that went behind the scenes to beef up this fight. I mean, look, it was a calculated and a very, very strategic move by the UFC's part to have these two guys fight one another. I mean, he was supposed to become the guy that the UFC builds their entire division moving forward around. And then along came a guy by the name of Sean Strickland, who's 31-7, extremely controversial, very loud, constantly doubted, constantly criticized. He's the kind of guy that many people still treat like kind of like your placeholder type champion, I mean, especially after that win against Israel Adesanya back in 2023, even as a champion, people acted like, well, Sean, he's good. Yeah, he's got some skills, but I don't know if he really belongs at the top. And heading into this fight, guys, I mean, the sports book had Strickland as more than a 4-1 underdog. Um, I actually thought Khamzat Chimaev was going to win this fight. I didn't think it was going to be done early, but I mean, I know a lot of other people that I was talking to thought Strickland was going to get ragdolled, especially after round one, because early on it looked like vintage Khamzat Chimaev. Looked like the nightmare that everyone predicted. You could even tell that after round one, Sean Strickland looked a little gassed. That wears you down, guys. That wears you down because Khamzat's pressure, and the way he, exhibits that pressure, his takedowns, that back control, rear naked choke, attempts. Those are the kind of things that wear a person down. Just ask Dricus du Plessis, all right? I mean, it looked like Sean Strickland was surviving, but he was surviving barely. And honestly, if you're watching this live, you probably thought that the finish was coming. And the same thing happened to DDP, man. He completely got gassed out. It's a lot of wear and tear. It really wears on you. But look, after that, the fight had completely changed because Sean Strickland predicted that this was going to happen in the first couple rounds. So you got to give Sean some credit. You got to give him massive credit because he prepared for this, especially not just physically but mentally. Because this is where a lot of fighters break. This is where a lot of fighters panic. Strickland didn't panic. He stayed calm. He stayed composed. He stayed true to his craft and to his game. And the beginning of round two told a bit of a different story because you could see the momentum shift little by little as the minutes started to go. And that takedown offense really started to improve. You could tell it kind of frustrated Khamzat a little bit. And then the jabs. Sean Strickland is known for his jabs. That, like Khamzat Chimaev was getting tagged. He was getting tattooed a lot. And most importantly, he was starting to slow down. Those jabs, okay, like we're talking about grappling, we're talking about that immense pressure that Khamzat puts on you and how that just kind of gasses out people. Well, those jabs also gas a person out. Because when you're constantly getting tagged in the face, it kind of prohibits you from being able to think, right? But once Shemaev's explosiveness kind of dropped, so to speak. The entire dynamics of the fight changed. This is the way I saw it. Suddenly you're forcing a guy who likes to wrestle to strike for longer periods than he's comfortable, and now he had to deal with Strickland's pace rather than him controlling the pace, the narrative. Now you're kind of following Strickland's pace, right? And suddenly he had to walk through a lot of that tattooing, those clean jabs over and over and over again. And Sean arguably is probably one of the most annoying fighters in the sport once he gets comfortable behind that jab because he could stand there all day and just jab and he'll break you down into pieces. He's known for breaking people's rhythm. He's known for forcing those ugly exchanges. Everything that we knew about Sean coming into this fight, that's what Sean was able to do. That's the kind of stuff that slowly starts to drain your confidence. And then by round three, guys, I think round three was probably one of the biggest moments of the entire fight because Chimaev realized what was going on. He was very hyper in his corner to the point where his corner was like, you got to calm down. You got to calm down. But zero takedown attempts from the former champion. Zero. That was shocking considering who we're talking about. Like pound for pound, I don't think there's a better wrestler. Arman's a very good wrestler, but Khamzat is wrestling, okay? He's just walking into Strickland's jab. Strickland, I think outlanded him 43-29 in like significant strikes. That's a lot, guys. Right there, that aura of Khamzat Chimaev just started to crack, especially under that pressure, that forward pressure that Sean Strickland was giving him by those jabs. And Khamzat didn't look bad, okay? He still looked very, very dangerous because then he started to get his mojo. He started to get his footing. He started to get that breakthrough, that second win, right? And for the first time, but but many people will argue that for the first time in a long time, Khamzat looked mortal. He didn't look as invincible as he once did. He didn't look like a superhero. He looked like a normal human being. And this is where the bigger conversation, I think, is going to start to happen surrounding Khamzat Chimaev, because for many years, the UFC has promoted Khamzat Chimaev like an unstoppable destroyer. And an unstoppable destroyer he may very well be for many people. Sean Strickland is different. Khamzat Chimaev is a global crossover superstar. This is a guy who could potentially carry cards like internationally. I mean, but what happened last night, I mean, showed the danger of building fighters around invincibility. And guys, I watched a lot of fights yesterday. There was a lot of stuff going on yesterday. Boxing, WWE, MMA. But I mean, look, once that image of a person starts to crack, and to be fair, look, let's be fair. Khamzat started to show some footing back in round 3, but then he came back in round number 4. He started landing some big combos, some big right hands. He busted Strickland's nose open. Another takedown, heavy pressure again, and then so he came up pretty strong in round number 4, and then round number 5, the championship round, guys. All 3 judges had the fight tied 2 rounds to 2 rounds. It was insane. It honestly made this round feel very, very heavy, very massive. I mean, this is a career-defining round, right? I mean, legacy-defining round. All the marbles were on the table, balls to the wall, whatever you had, bring it, including the kitchen sink. And Sean Strickland delivered. He edged Chimaev 33-21 in significant strikes in the final round and survived 6 of 7 takedown attempts without being controlled for long stretches. That is something that Dricus du Plessis couldn't do. That is something that a lot of other UFC and MMA fighters cannot do. That's what you refer to as championship composure. It's experience. It's the fortitude. It's everything that Sean has built his career on came forward into that round. That's how you win rounds, guys, under pressure. That's how you do it. And after the decision was read, 48-47, 48-47, Strickland. What does that tell you? Khamzat Chimaev was not happy. Some people say he stormed out of the cage furious. No, he did not. Yeah, of course he's going to be disappointed. Who wouldn't? I mean, his perfect record of 50-0 is gone. His 10-fight UFC win streak was over. But Sean Strickland was a champion again. And crazy. Now, here's the part that a lot of people are not talking about. Or shall I say not talking about enough. Yeah, when I watched this fight, it was just amazing. But the result, like the change, like this changes the UFC business, especially the landscape of the middleweight division, immensely, and not just immensely, immediately, because if Khamzat won, the UFC would have likely had a dominant global superstar that they could build major international cards around for many, many years to come. Kind of almost reminds me of George St. Pierre. He was unstoppable. He would have been like that guy. But now they have Sean Strickland again. Now, I'm not saying Sean Strickland is not a good fighter. He's an impeccable fighter. But is this the guy that, I mean, from a promotional standpoint, is this the guy that you want to build around? I mean, he sells fights. He knows how to market fights. He knows how to hype them up. But so does Josh Hockett. But is that the kind of guy that you want to build around? Well, people know how to react to Sean Strickland. Fans either love him or fans hate him. He's very, very unpredictable. And even after the fight, he made some, he apologized for the ugly buildup and even said that, look, I want to apologize. I want to apologize to my American fans, to my Muslim fans, to my Christian fans. I went too effing hard. All right. And he admitted it. He said this a couple times, and that tells you that the UFC is walking a fine line with him constantly, because that's exactly what you wanted to hear. Here's the reality, guys. Because Sean Strickland, including Dana White and the Sean Strickland moves attention. He does things on his own accord. He does things at his own pace, and he does things on his own timing, kind of similar to like John Jones. But I say this all the times. That kind of attention in this environment is like currency, guys. It's money. That matters more than anything. It's significantly huge, okay? The next question now becomes what happens to Khamzat Chimaev? Because this loss is not going to destroy him, but he's lost his belt. His aura has been cracked. But the way he fought, the way he battled, I mean, that tells you a lot. I mean, he's still relevant. And in fact, sometimes this is the kind of loss that can help a guy like Khamzat Chimaev long term because it removes that pressure of perfection. Now he doesn't have to worry about the limelight being on him all the time. I mean, sure, it exposes certain kinds of weaknesses, but areas of opportunities that can certainly be fixed by going back to the drawing room, right? I mean, but Khamzat still looked very, very terrifying at times. And now we know there's a path, a blueprint, so to speak, to beat him. Lots of cardio pressure, defensive discipline, composure, under grappling attacks. I mean, Sean didn't make it look easy because trying to defend against Khamzat is never easy. But I don't think right now there's other fighters who could do what Sean did. Sure, he drafted a blueprint on how to beat Khamzat Chimaev, but trust me, every contender at middleweight was watching closely and took notes. But I mean, that also opens up huge possibilities for the UFC moving forward. But understand, Khamzat also exposed Sean Strickland in a lot of ways as well too, because Khamzat started to tattoo Sean Strickland's face a lot to the point where his nose has got busted and his face looked like a red tomato at times, right? But I mean, that is what it is. It's a fight, guys. But now, what about Dricus du Plessis? I mean, do they revisit like Israel Adesanya versus Strickland? Does you want to see DDP maybe take a crack at Sean Strickland for the belt? Or I mean, what happens to the division? I mean, do you want to see a rematch? I mean, there's so many different options. Like when I say rematch, a rematch between Khamzat and Strickland. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like that unpredictability is great for business, but as fans, man, we want to know what's going on. We want to know like right now. But look, the one more thing before I wrap up. I mean, UFC 328 was an amazing card. I mean, it lived up to the hype. It had a very, very strong main card. I didn't talk about the main card. I didn't talk about the prelims, but let me just recap some of the main card. Joshua Van captured the flyweight championship at the 5th round TKO over Tatsuro Taira. That happened in round number 5 at 1 minute 1 minute and 32 seconds into that round. Congratulations. Volkov defeated Waldo Cortez Acosta by unanimous decision and he even called for a title in his post-fight conference, or post-fight, sorry. And Sean Brady dominated Joaquin Buckley with scores of 30-25, 30-25, 30-27. And Sean Brady reminded everybody that he was once viewed as a future welterweight problem with that beautiful one-sided grappling victory over Joaquin Buckley. Yeah, that was amazing. And look, King Green was in attendance. No, he was not fighting Dean the Great. King Green, sorry, Gangrene. King Green submitted Jeremy Stephens at the rear naked choke at 4 minutes and 20 seconds into round number 1. Okay, he heard Jeremy Stephens on the feet. He locked in a rear naked choke at 4 minutes and 20 seconds, into round number 1. It was all over. What a beautiful, beautiful finish. Yeah, so if Dean wants to challenge King Green, he better not. He'll be put in a hospital pretty quicker than quick. But the night obviously belonged to Sean Strickland again. And this is the fight that dominated the headlines. Look, whether you like Sean Strickland or not, I mean, it's irrelevant. What you can't deny is what this man has been able to accomplish in the octagon, in the cage. He beat Israel Adesanya when nobody thought he could. And now he hands Khamzat Chimaev, one of the best fighters in the world, his first loss. He came in as a massive underdog, all right? Twice, the world counted him out. Twice he shocked everybody. Sean Strickland's a great fighter. If he doesn't need to be controversial, I thought a lot about this. He doesn't need to be controversial and outspoken to be in the headlines. He can do it just with the way he fights. And look, this is the beauty of MMA, guys. You have all kinds of characters and all kinds of people that make up the sport itself. I mean, you can build up guys who turn into monsters. You can build up that hype, that marketing. You can build legends, undefeated legends. But eventually, somebody punches back. Like Mike Tyson always says, everyone's got a plan until they get punched out. So on Saturday, last night, Sean Strickland, he punched back harder than anyone expected. He really dug deep, you know, and that man's got a lot of fortitude. So does Khamzat Chimaev. Both were incredible. They provided us with such entertainment. Don't count out Chimaev. And I'll tell you the thing that really, really excited me the most about this whole thing. I was just really, really happy. Just super happy to see that these guys are very cordial with one another. These guys genuinely have a lot of admiration and respect for one another. And I'm sorry, I'm just reading something here. Somebody's calling about, oh, the UFC 328 was a fallout and people are upset. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? No. Do you guys not know that Strickland beat Khamzat Chimaev? I mean, 48-47, 47-48, and then 48-47. Like, you know how close this fight was? That was highly entertaining. Highly entertaining. Tatsuro Taira, like, I mean, like Joshua Van winning the title against him, like, wasn't that entertaining? I mean, and then what about fight of the night? Like Joshua Van and Taira, like Joshua Van getting $50,000. Sorry, I think they both got $50,000 each, I think, right? That was incredible, right? And I mean, right in the post show, Van was informed that this happened, and he was blown away. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. Was that fight not entertaining enough? I mean, Jim Miller, Yaroslav Amosov, they both got $50,000 each. Performance of the night honors went to Jan Miller and Yaroslav, Amosov. Like, what about that? Taking home 50 grand each for performance of the night. Was that not entertaining enough for you guys? Like, I mean, like, I gotta, who are these people who are talking about these kind of things, man? I mean, Amosov's win was the kind like that like these are the kind of fights that define a fighter, I mean, these guys are fighting at the highest level, the highest level. It's absolutely surreal. Yet somebody has the nerve to say UFC 328, there's a fallout because it wasn't entertaining enough. Unbelievable. Um, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but I think Khamzat Chimaev fought his last match in middleweight. I mean, yes, he deserves a rematch because of how close the fight was. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with Khamzat, but I mean, I think Khamzat needs to fight at a weight that's comfortable for him. Okay, and I think he should do that. I don't think he should worry too much about, you know, trying to appease to everybody. I mean, this guy's a former champion of the world, arguably one of the best fighters right now in the industry in MMA and combat sports. He looked really out of it when he had to cut weight. If you guys don't know, if you guys watch my video, and if you guys are still here, thank you. Congratulations for you guys still to be here. But if you guys don't know, there's talks about how Khamzat Chimaev dropped 47 pounds to get into fighting weight for this fight. 47 pounds. Just take that into consideration for a second, guys, but absolutely ridiculous. That's a lot. And I say this all the time, guys. And anytime anyone has to go through the burden of dropping that much weight, it's scary stuff. Very, very scary stuff. It's too much stress and burden on the body. It's not good for a fighter because it can hurt them, maybe not in the short term, but it'll hurt them long term. So, yeah, I think Khamzat needs to go back to the drawing board, needs to figure out first what weight class is most comfortable for him, where he would like to fight. And then I think Khamzat needs to think about um, maybe working a little bit more on his striking. Mind you, um, round number 2 did not look good for him. Round number 3 was okay, not bad. He started to get his footing back. You know, he started to break through that second win, sorry. And then round number four was definitely his round. So round 1s and 4, I give to Khamzat Chimaev. And then rounds number 2 and 3 were Strickland. And then, yeah, and then Strickland edged him in round number 5. I'm not going to say he dominated him because he didn't. It was a very, very close battle. Anyways, guys, I was highly entertained. I hope you were highly entertained. Aside from that, Daniel Dubois is now the new WBO World Heavyweight Champion after his unbelievable victory over Fabio Wardley. What a slobber knocker. That was just back and forth. Bombs draining down on these guys one after another. So much brutality, so much chaos. These guys are both 6'5", you know, big muscular men, and they're just beating the snot out of each other. It was absolutely beautiful. And then I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch Backlash. That's a whole different conversation. But guys, I want to thank you guys for sticking around. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions, if you want me to do a video on something. That said, if you want to check out our shirts, you could go to the shop. You could also hype this video. That really helps us out with the algorithm, smashing the like and subscribe, hitting notifications so you guys never miss a beat. That helps us out as well too. And then if you want to support our channel, you can also sign up as a member. You'll get exclusive content. We've been testing out live streaming. I really wanted to get that going yesterday, but we're not 100% there. Just a few little things that I need to tweak so we can start live streaming for you guys maybe a couple times a week. And then there's going to be a lot of other exclusive stuff that I'm going to be putting online for you guys to see, but that's for our members, right? So again, if you'd like to support our channel, we'd be very grateful, but all that support definitely helps us continue to fine-tune our things, getting better equipment, better studio stuff, and of course the ability to be able to pump out these videos for you guys as we enjoy to do on a daily basis. So thank you again for sticking around. Before I leave, YouTube would like you to check out one of these 2 videos, and I highly agree with them because they're both fantastic. So thank you guys. Again, the pleasure was all mine. I can't wait to talk to you about Daniel Dubois' beautiful victory over Fabio Wardley tomorrow.